The following episode of the Comics and Crypto podcast is for informational purposes only, and anything expressed by the hosts or their guests is solely their opinion. This podcast does not constitute financial advice, and anyone wishing to invest should seek their own independent financial or professional help. Have fun and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Hare, and I know comics.
Hi, I'm Spencer Vogel, and I know crypto.
Hi, I'm Kevin Lee Loader, and I don't know shit. This is the Comics and Crypto podcast.
Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, collector's world in a digital age. Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, it's where the next billionaires will be made. It's comics and crypto.
Today, we have the honor of hosting a truly remarkable guest, a highly skilled producer and director who is set to helm the highly anticipated documentary Selling Superman. Please extend a warm welcome to the extraordinarily talented Adam Schomer. Adam, hey!
What's up?
Hey guys, nice to see you.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. We love talking about comics and the film. So,
You know, I have to say, I just saw your film Health recently.
Heal.
And-
Yeah.
Sorry. I just saw your film Heal,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. It was really,
Oh,
really
thank you.
awesome. Really
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
It's good that you say health, because sometimes I say heal and people think the body part, like your foot, heal.
Oh.
I'm like,
Yeah,
really? I
it's-
made a movie about people's heels? I don't understand.
It's beautiful seeing a film that normalizes mental health, because my girlfriend actually is going for a doctorate in neuropsychology. So it's a topic we talk about all the time, and it's so important. It's very personal for me too. So yeah,
Good.
thank you for putting it together. She was all throughout the documentary. She was just going like this the whole
Was she
time. Oh,
snapping?
the
She was
first 5 minutes, man. It was
Oh,
she
nice.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean,
was
it's
excited to watch that.
you know, unfortunately, it's a timely topic. A lot of people have chronic illness and need some inspiration, possibility, and to be open up to how important our mental health and emotions are to the healing. So I love that film. It's
Yeah.
It continues. It's been out 7 years. It just continues to inspire people. It's a pretty neat one.
I love to hear that. I love to hear
Yeah.
that.
The other film, Heal, H-E, I think that's a Quentin Tarantino film, right?
Is it?
Wait, Quentin Tarantino.
Isn't he in the feet?
I don't
What?
know. Is he?
Oh, the feet. Oh, yeah,
Isn't he in the feet?
he's a big guy, but this isn't
Am I right?
related.
I'm just
cut
making
that,
a joke.
cut that.
It's fine. It's fine. I have no
We'll cut
idea if he
that.
is. We'll cut that. That's hilarious. It's like in the trailer.
I'm pretty sure
we can
I
cut
think
this
he's a
out,
big
right?
guy.
So that transitions us to your film that you're working on right now. Really curious, and what inspired you to want to make a documentary about the Watts family and their comic book collection?
Yeah, well, I mean, it turns out, Darren and I went to high school together, right? So, and he was a couple years younger than me. We played soccer together. And so I knew him, knew the family, had no idea about the secret that was going on, both with his father's mental health and with the comics. The comics, I think, being the bigger secret, to be honest, but or the harder one maybe to keep. As Darren might have told you guys, it's like the comic books that don't exist, and if they do exist, we don't talk about them. That's like his rules of Fight Club. But Darren was just texting me those things. I love these little quirky things that we'll probably bring in the movie. But Darren called me up to answer your question, and he knew I made documentaries, and we hadn't been in touch a little bit from the tech world because he runs a tech business and all that. Yeah, he said, "This is what's going on. What do you think?" I know comics are big. Superhero movies are big with Disney and Marvel and all that, and DC with Warner Brothers. And I listened. I'm like, wow, this is fascinating. Like, who pays this amount of money for comics? I had no idea. So the first things in my mind are, how is it this valuable? How did it get to this state of value? Why do we in society value things like this? Why do we love superheroes so much? Why do we love Superman so much? He's an icon, And then as I said, okay, and I'll come over Thanksgiving. I'll film you and your family just to get some tape and see how you guys are. You want to know how people are on camera. And wow, are they, eloquent people? They, and sensitive. And Darren shows his feelings. His mom is amazing. You'll see she's quite heroic, I think. She's like, Adam, don't call me a hero. I said, I said, well, it is my choice who I think of as a hero. And if it doesn't bother you, I'd like to consider you a hero. And she said, yes, okay, no problem. Because that's my choice. I think what she does is very heroic. And you'll see in the film just how she lives her life is amazing. But I thought right away, and especially once I put them on tape, this would be a great film to explore bigger topics like meaning and value while getting to watch this really interesting adventure within the comic world. and what he's unraveling there, both of the family portrait and the actual collection, like the multiples of X-Men's and where those came from, some of the side stories that we get to go into of like finding the origin of some of these books, and just how do you take something like that out? In Darren's case, I'd say rewriting the story of his father. His father was a recluse, and Darren wants to do something different with it. He wants to make it a family thing, and even being on the podcast and things like that is a huge difference than what his dad would have done. It was a big. You'll see, it's a big thing in the film. When you take that first step of actually telling people.
Did you know about this at all during high school? Did you know about that? No.
Nothing.
Wow.
No one did. I mean, it
Wow.
really was a secret. No one did. I didn't know his father had Asperger's, and it largely went undiagnosed as well till they were a little bit older. Different times, back in the 80s and 90s, just different times. And no idea. I knew his dad from soccer games too. Didn't let on to anything with comic books. No, well kept secret, I gotta say. Well kept. His dad's own like family members, like his dad's sister and all that. They didn't know the level it was getting to. Nobody knew. Because it's a huge collection.
Yeah, it is. Oh man,
it's odd, it's like, oh, well, how is this my friend? Like, it just works out. I'm a doc filmmaker. He's my buddy, and he happens to have like one of the best collections in the world. And
How do you hide 200,000 books?
300,000, isn't it?
300,000.
300,000.
Yeah, you don't leave the house and you don't tell
my
anyone.
gosh.
And no, it's fab. When something like this drops in my lap as a filmmaker, I jump all over. I put some other things aside and said, let's do this. Just again, because we're looking at meaning and mental health and different things while we get to take a very fun comic book hero, underbelly of the industry type adventure.
During the whole process of making this documentary, what were some of the most interesting or surprising things that you've learned about during the process?
About comics or Darren?
Maybe the family, anything in particular.
And again, I'm not like, I'm not I grew up with superheroes for sure, right? Loving the Superman films and Star Wars for sure, and Lord of the Rings, but not a comic book guy, right? So one of the things actually that is blowing my mind is just understanding this industry and how big it is and how passionate people are, really passionate. And it's heartwarming, to be honest. You just get a lot of really authentic people.
Have you gone to a Comic-Con yet?
Oh yeah. I've gone to 2 in Motor City here in Detroit,
Nice.
and then the San Diego one, and then like Comic Day, May 5th or 6th it is. I went to early on. I went to the one like that was like 3 blocks from me, and that was really cool. It was one of the first things I went to, and a few tents and local artists, and that gave me just a little view into what I now have access to. Like take it all the way to the Chuck Rosanskis of the world, who are just so Mile High Comics, and how into it some people can get.
Yeah.
So that's been the most amazing thing, I think, is the fandom and the authenticity and the beautiful stories. Darren's family, wow. I think the level to which his father's behavior and his father's obsession affected so many people, I would say, how it affected Darren. I didn't realize the depth. And the more I think about it and realize it, it kind of blows my mind how much, our moms and dads have an impact on what we consider love, what we consider self-worth, and you combine that with society working on you. And that's what's kind of been jaw-dropping to me, is just the family portrait unraveling. And you start to see, like, when do you sit down with your buddy's mom and go, what did you love about your husband? How often do you hang out, right? But I get to sit with his mom and be like, what did you love about Dale? Why this guy? And that's what's cool, is to know my buddy on such a different level than I ever would have.
And also like so much later too, which is so cool.
Much later. Yeah, so much later in life, when we're adults and really can come back and meet as adults and professionals, and with respect for what each other does. He's a very successful guy. He's a smart guy. He's this caring father. So you meet each other later, because he was a couple years younger. It's not like we went out partying together in high school. We played soccer together. It's like almost like we met in the professional world of the field, in the soccer field, and now we're meeting again in the professional field of life as adults. So it's been really cool to, I think, just get to know his family. I love his younger brother. I think is hilarious. His fun. His mom is so smart. And then the cast of characters. I mean, Brian's ridiculous. That's like the sidekick that you see in the trailer. He's hilarious. He's
So on
great.
the surface, this movie is about comic books, the comic collection, but really it's about family.
Yeah, I would say so. Family, father son relationships, the value we give things and each other and ourselves. Absolutely, yeah. Family portrait. Like my editor started, he's like, "Wow, he's just beginning," and he's like, "This family portrait is amazing," and
Wow.
they all speak. It's not. It's one thing if it's amazing, but it's also like spoken of, and you can hear it and see it in what we've filmed, and that's important. And where are you guys located? You're on the West Coast also?
Yeah, Santa Clara, actually, the Bay Area.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I'm actually been a filmmaker out in the Bay Area for the last 15 years. Mostly commercials. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, we can talk shop. You can take the direction, the conversation anywhere. Anything you want to know, I'm happy to talk about. We can
Love
talk
it.
crypto, which I don't know anything about, but we can talk movies that I know something about.
Yeah, and I'm based in Colorado.
Oh, excellent. What part of Colorado?
In Dillon. It's like right in the mountains. I'm like an hour and 15 hour and a half west of Denver. I'm like right near like Copper and Breckenridge and
Cool.
A Basin and all. But I'm a huge skier, so I just ski every day and do the podcast basically.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Mile High Comics, we just filmed. We were near you, and then we went and
Oh,
filmed
cool.
Temple Grandin. I don't know if he told you about that, but
No.
Temple Grandin is a very famous autism expert. She herself has autism. She's a professor at Colorado State. She really changed. She changed the whole like meat industry by thinking like an animal and how that they wanted to be treated, and she incredibly well respected, and really just took what would be like her neurodivergence or her difficulties and made them into made the best she could.
Yeah.
And she's fascinating lady. So we were out there for both those, and we took a moment at Estes Park, or how do you say it? Estes Park.
Estes Park. Is that in Denver?
Yeah, Estes. Like near the. You know where Estes is. Estes.
To be honest, I spend no time in Denver. I spend all my time in the mountains.
Like, it's past Boulder and up, and up in the mountains there. That's why I thought you'd know it.
Okay. Yeah, but if it's near Boulder, it's other direction. It's like kind of like north. I'm west. Like I literally I don't leave my little mountain town area.
Sitting there, no, but if you talk about trails on the mountains, yeah, he's got you. He's got you covered.
Yeah.
Sean, it's like I'm like Santa Clara. Where's that? Oh, NorCal. No, I don't think so.
Spencer's actually coming down to the Bay Area next month because we got accepted as press in San Diego Comic-Con, so we're gonna be making down a trip to down San Diego Comic-Con.
That's awesome. We might be there too. Cool.
Darren was saying that we gotta meet up.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
All right, we'll meet up.
Totally.
This is great.
That'd be
This is great.
awesome.
But obviously, this isn't recorded. We're just hanging out. No, just kidding.
We're just
Check it out.
People just want to hear guys hanging out, talking.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, we can do an actual interview. That's fine.
We're making plans. We're like, okay, I'll see you at the
booth. So we're gonna get a beer at 5. I don't know how to transition back into like real questions now.
It's okay. Just dive into it.
Yeah.
So what do you hope the viewers of the documentary are going to take away from Selling Superman?
Yeah, it somewhat depends on the person, what they'll relate to and what they'll resonate with, because I feel there's a few storylines and a few meanings going on. But I would say the bigger idea of the film is that we have the power to choose how we see life. We have the power to choose what we give meaning to in life, and thus like how we give meaning to ourselves. That being like the biggest superpower of all, our choice in how we see things. And so we don't have to necessarily believe what our parents believed. We don't have to believe what society tells us to believe or what to value in ourselves. We get to kind of make what we want of it. It doesn't mean like we're not going to have pain or like we're not living within society, but we're on a very high level, I would say, in control of how we react to it all and how we want to see ourselves within it. That's the power and freedom I think we have. So somehow making that point through this whole story about the meaning of the books and the meaning of Darren's family and what he thinks about the Superman and whether or not he sells it or not and why, all plays into that. And I hope people walk out willing to look at their lives and themselves in a different way, willing to own that power and see that power as something that's really valued, rather than always just resources. You know, people I think sometimes call resources power, but I think resources are resources. That's what I've come to lately, and not necessarily true powers. Yeah.
What were some of the biggest challenges or obstacles that you faced while filming, and how are you able to overcome them?
Well, I mean, making a lot of docs, there's always a lot of faith. Like, we're not ever sure if it's gonna go all the way or even happen. We just kept taking steps with this one. Like, all right, we'll film in May of 22. Okay, we'll film at Comic-Con. We'll put a trailer together. All right, we'll keep filming there. We'll keep, and you keep kind of taking these steps. And now we're really gung ho and we're all the way, en route. So that's always it's not my first rodeo, but it's still, it's always a play of faith. And I think the bigger challenge is actually coming up, which is post-production and how to weave in all these storylines. It's the challenge I think I love the most is the storytelling in post-production. How do we tell the stories? It's the hardest, but I think it's the most gratifying when you can really, set some seeds early that pay off later, and some experts. Like, we're working on Terrence Stamp. We'll see if we get him. You're familiar with Terrence? He played Zod in Superman 1 and 2. He's the evil villain. Okay. He's real for a lot of, I won't say why, but for a lot of reasons, he's really an interesting person, So he would help fill in some gaps and transitions, I think. Anyway, yeah, the challenge I think is upcoming. One of the big challenges is the next 7 months of editing.
Is the production wrapped? Are you guys entirely in post now?
Still got a little more. I mean, we're about 85% done, maybe
Nice.
90. Yeah, there's some experts I still want to get, like Terrence and a few others. It's like stuff I wanted to film, but like we were following the story mostly, and now I can go back and get some experts where I want to fill in some holes.
Awesome.
And then there's still things happening with Darren I'm here in Michigan, just arrived in Michigan, and we're going to film him tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
And then film Comic-Con again tomorrow, and like how things have escalated, because we're already on, it's strange. We're already on podcasts and things like that, and people know some of the story while we're filming. So this is all becoming part of it in some weird meta way, where the little bit of hype and awareness of the collection and the film is going to be in the film itself. It's part of it. And from the beginning, I've known that, like, okay, we affect the story. We know that. We're aware of that. I'm your buddy anyway. This changes things, but we're on the pilgrimage together, basically.
We were telling Darren that there's a 7.0 Superman 1 comic on Golden right now. It's the second one. There's only 2 on the CGC census. One's Darren's, one's public, and it's on auction right now at Golden.
On Gold? Wait, is Golden an auction site?
Yeah, it's one of the bigger auction houses. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, because that one sold a year ago also. And it's back up.
Most likely the same one. Yeah.
When's the date of it?
It's currently on auction now, but it ends in about, I think, 35 days, so about 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
That's when it really hits.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Wow. No, because we Zoom. Well, we Zoom called all around the first one, right? Because that was way early in the process of filming. So we covered it to understand what one was valued at currently. This is an even closer comp to what's going on.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys got to recreate that then.
Wow. So this one's coming up in 4 weeks. All right. Well,
all right. Well, I guess we just changed your travel schedule.
Well, no. Does anyone really go to the thing? Where's Golden anyway?
It's an online auction. It'll just be online. Yeah,
because Heritage you can go in person, right?
Yeah,
people
yeah.
Wow, that's great news. Thanks for. Did Darren know about it?
Yeah, he didn't know about it.
He didn't know either. Yeah,
but yeah, he knows about it now.
Wow, you guys broke the news. Wow, if you send me a recording of this podcast, it might go in the film. We were on a podcast and we heard,
Everything you need. Yeah, you got it.
Well, it'll be up on YouTube, so you can pull whatever you want from it. Or if you want the raw files, let us know.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's fun. That's fun. And people will be like, there's no way 2 redheads with man buns were on. They know each other. They're brothers. Yeah. Wow, cool. Thanks for that info. That's amazing. Yeah, we still have more things. There's still things happening with the story. Will he sell Superman or not? We don't know. A few other things, just because a lot is building, and we might be on a panel at Comic-Con. So it's all part of the story of what starts to happen with this collection and how he's rewriting the story of his father in many ways. Yeah.
That's awesome. So there's still no release date yet then, or
No, I mean, in general, I know, but you don't know till you know. We should
Yep.
finish everything by the end of the year in terms of editing, and then consider festivals, March, April. If we hit deadlines, we'd be in something in March, April, May festivals, and then again, depending, so that's technically a release in some ways that you're in festivals, and then maybe some cons and different things. We call them non-theatrical screenings. So maybe getting to a September of 24 on video on demand, where you can go onto iTunes and buy the movie. I say iTunes, it's called Apple TV, but whatever. You can go on the VOD platforms, buy it, and get like the 5 hours of extras also. That's
oh, cool, nice.
That's where we think a lot of the audience will show up, is like, I want to see the film and I want the 5 hours of awesome extras that I can't get any other way.
Like I want to see the footage of just like the boring footage of people just going through boxes. That's what I want to see. Yeah.
It's amazing. Part of why I'm here in Michigan right now is because I live in Los Angeles, right? But and my parents live here, so it's fine. I can just stay here and I can work from here. But it's for some of that, because they're still finding stuff and they're still going through it. Yeah. And I said, dude, I'll work there, and then if something happens, I'll pick up the camera and like film, so that we have a little more.
So cool, Adam.
And I don't mind if they ever film it with their iPhones and stuff too, because it's just as authentic and cool. It doesn't have to look
totally.
Right. But it's nice. It's nice to have more of those when it happens. There's one in the trailer, and they're like, "Whoa!" It's like, I think it's a Silver Surfer, and they're like, well, "I gotta have that." That's the reality. Things are happening like that all the time, Yeah, you'll see. Again, I like the X-Men story of the origin of those. That we'll wait till the film to kind of reveal where those came from. It's a cool story.
Oh, I'm excited for that. That's one of my X-Men 1 especially is a comic that I've always been sought after for a long time. Really. Are you a collector by chance? Or has this documentary turned into a collector or interested?
No, I'm more on like the.
Yeah.
My mom's house was so clean, like. But no, I'm a little more on the Zen style. Like I want things just simple and not too much. If anything I collect now, it's like camera lenses, but that's not really collection. that's like
practical use.
Yeah, it is practical use. Yeah, it's. So no, I don't have the collecting bug. I really have leaned toward experiences in my life as being the things I collect. Yeah,
I love it. Actually, Spencer and I met backpacking in Europe. That's how we
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
2017. Yeah.
Wow. What country were you in when you met?
In Prague.
In Prague. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Czech Republic. Yeah.
Never been there. Never been.
Oh, you gotta go.
Oh, it's
awesome.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Yeah, it's one of the best cities I've ever been. It's
sweet.
Amazing. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get in the festival there. I think it's I forget what it's called. Maybe.
Make sure you guys apply to South by Southwest. I feel like that festival especially will love this doc.
This is, between me, you, and everyone on YouTube, this is where I'm hoping that we go. Now, from the beginning, I felt similar. I said, oh,
yeah,
okay, Sundance is great and all, but it feels more like a South by Southwest.
Totally.
Yeah. It just feels like the place to open. I mean, it's an honor to, they take really good films. It'd be an honor, but yeah, that would be a cool place. And we would pack the house with all the comic lovers flying in and just
love it.
Crush it.
If it plays there, I'm going to South by for this film. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll hold you to it.
I'll make that happen. Yeah.
We'll already be at Sundance if you end up at Sundance. So
yeah, we go every year to Sundance.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You'll be skiing the whole time, right? And
yes.
I went for the first time this past year. They all, we had very late nights, but like they'd all sleep in until like 1 p.m. and I'd be like out at like 8 a.m. skiing every morning after a night out. Like, what are you guys doing? Wasting your time here.
Wasting your time. Yeah, just sweat it out anyway. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. All right. We'll see you at the festivals. This is great.
I love it.
Yeah, so that would be the plan, and it's a tough deadline to hit, but we'll see.
Before we wrap, I wanted to see if there's any announcements you'd like to make or any future projects that you're working on that you'd like to talk about.
I can tell you about a couple projects that because we were just talking, about finding the comics, and it is happening every day, right? And people might think, oh, they're just making it look like they're finding more than it is, but you can't capture how often they're finding and the excitement. And I did a film. I've done a couple films on motorcycles in the Himalayas, and it's similar where they're like, oh, you're just making it look scarier than it is. And I'm like, no, you can't come close to how scary it is.
Yeah.
Like I could do any film magic possible, and I can't make it even close to cows, trucks, potholes, monkeys, cliffs. Like it's so I have this doc series called The Road to Dharma, and I really love that because it's that mix of adventure. It's similar to this, and there's like a pilgrimage unfolding, and we're looking at the depths and wisdom of freedom as we go to these cool sacred sites in the Himalayas in India. So that's that I love people to check. They get a feel for what I like to do, which is combine the two, give us a nice adventure like Darren's going on, and some depth and wisdom. And then other announcements with the film. Let's see. There's not much. I mean, I'm filming something else in September, just for like 8 days, going to Iceland. Similar thing with some monks.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I'll take it's like it's not a vacation because I pause. The editor will keep going during that time, but then I go film something else for 8 days in Iceland. All about happiness, loneliness to happiness, and following a couple people with these 3 monks. Hiking through Iceland. I love that kind of stuff. I love adventure and wisdom. And that's a sweet spot.
So you get to go on the hikes and do all that stuff with them, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's
Yeah.
Small crew. Me and my cameraman, same cameraman that's been doing Superman. His name's Rama, or Miguel Torres, but we call him Rama. And he came here to Michigan, spent a lot of time with Darren. So like I said, we have had an impact in many ways. You can't not have an impact when you're really going through something with somebody. The crew you'll see more than I can even say. The crew impacts this film.
That's beautiful.
You'll see like in many good and bad ways. So
That's awesome.
that's the little news without the news.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's yeah.
We can't wait to see it. And Adam, thanks so much for coming on today. It was fantastic having you on. It was really fun.
Yeah, my pleasure. Nice to talk to you guys. I'll see you at South by Southwest.
Yeah.
Or at some Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yeah, July.
Yeah, Comic-Con in July. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Then in person, we'll have the 2 redheads with man buns.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes.
Should we get the same costume or something? Is there any
Yeah, like dress
superhero
up like leprechauns or
She's still full Irish with that, huh?
Oh my God. We do
there's
one
gotta,
little.
there's gotta be a redheaded superhero, right?
There's gotta be Flash. No, Flash Gordon ish. Didn't he have reddish hair
Maybe.
or blonde hair? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There is no redhead superhero. What's going on here? Where's the
I think
representation?
we gotta start one. We'll get working on the comic book. You'll do the movie. Boom.
Perfect.
Thanks again for coming on today, man. This has been a lot of fun, and we'll make sure
Super
to include
fun.
your socials and links down below, including Heal,
Heel.
which I'm very excited for people to see. They definitely need to check that out, guys. It's a great documentary.
Thanks for that. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we're gonna have you on again soon. I'm really excited to see the developments of this documentary.
Yeah, when it's out there to see it, we'd love to come back on. We just love
Awesome.
making friends and get to see at the cons and stuff. It's great.
I love it. Awesome. Thanks again, Adam, for coming on, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.